Hello, Aries. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. This is your August 2024 energetic check for love. We're going to look at singles first, and then if you are in a partnership or a relationship, situationship, whatever, that is going to be looked at in the second half of the reading. So if your Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus placements are in Aries, this could be for you. Be sure to check your other placements. If anything does not fit, please don't try and force it into your world. We will be looking at all the signs. So if you want to check out your other placements, you could probably put together a pretty good picture of what could be going on. Be sure to give me a follow if you're not already, to be able to catch me live. If I am doing a collective reading, is your opportunity to get a heavily discounted rate on one of my live streamed readings, heavily discounted. If you need a personal private reading, the link for that is in the description box of this video. Feel free to check out my other platforms as well. Be sure to give me a follow there. Also, to be able to catch me live, anytime you catch me live and I'm doing a collective reading, it is your opportunity to ask me questions or get a heavily discounted reading from me live. Okay. Without further ado, we're going to take a look at singles first and then partnerships, couples, relationships second. And this is for August 2024. All right, kiddos, let's look. What is the you position? What do we need to know about Aries? If you are open to the energy of love, receiving offers, this is not for those people who are just not into it right now, who just don't want love, who aren't looking for a relationship, don't want anything to do with it. If you're in the healing process right now, this may not be for you. Okay. If you're open to it, let's see what's coming in. Let's look and see, what does Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus need to know for love if you are single. Three of Pentacles. Could be somebody at the workplace. We've got the Seven of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. Three of Swords, Hanged Man. So this person has past pain. So you're going to need to probably strategize a little bit to get them to notice you if you are in fact wanting this person to notice you. I do feel like if this is somebody at your workplace that you're taking some interest in, they may still be hung up on some things from the past. So it may take them a little while to actually feel safe with the connection or willing to, be open to the connection. If you're ready, they may not be, is kind of the point I'm getting to here. All right, what crosses or complements? What crosses or complements Aries in this situation? Thank you. King of Swords. They've got their boundaries up pretty hard. Yeah, pretty hard. Two of Swords with the Empress. On that strength card over here, trying to tame the beast within. Four of Pentacles. So the person you're interested in may not be interested in you. For some of you, if this is at the workplace, this could be somebody who is in a management position, or you are in a management position. Take this how it resonates. For others of you, this could be somebody who is, just a very factual, very intelligent person as well. This is somebody who is probably a very keen speaker, probably a public speaker for some of you, who has a very prominent presence in the public eye. There it is, the Six of Cups. Yeah. The person you're interested in is more so about probably just working, unfortunately. And if you were to try to make an offer of love, they may not be willing to accept it, unfortunately. Okay. So what else does Aries need to know? Aries, regarding this person that you are interested in, that is coming around. This could be you. This could be you, where you're just like, look, I'm just here to work. I don't really know about this. I'm always very suspicious about workplace romances anyways, because, where does it go if it doesn't work out? And if you both, have some sort of an awkward fallout or something, God forbid, now your job is at jeopardy and you've kind of mixed both of your worlds. Let's see. What is the best that can be achieved? What's the best that can be achieved in this circumstance? Death card. 10 of Cups, World card, 5 of Cups. So In order for you to have the most success with this, something needs to be completely processed and let go of. Could be dealing with a Scorpio. And this is the only way for there to be a happy union in this. We have some regret and sadness. 5-5 to the 4 of Pentacles. Somebody here is still holding on and probably pretty still reserved. I think somebody here is still reserved. And in order for them to be able to come forward to a connection with you, they're going to have to go through some pretty heavy transitions and change some things. I think some big changes need to happen in order for this person to be able to take notice in you, or in order for you to take notice in them. Again, however this resonates. But I do strongly feel like this is somebody at the workplace that you're interested in, and they may not be reciprocating. They may not be reciprocating with that 9 of Wands. Queen of Wands, 6 of Wands, right? This is somebody who you see all the time, or they see you all the time. Again, switch it, flip it, whatever you need to do. All right, what's the foundation? What does Aries need to know in this situation? What does Aries need to know in this situation? The 2 of Wands trying to show up. Okay, 3 of Swords. Tower, Empress. Oh, so somebody here is, yeah. Unfortunately, you've set your sights on somebody who is not quite ready. I strongly believe that they're still in their healing process over something that has gone on pretty heavy. They could still be going through it. With the Moon card, the Page of Cups, the Tower card, Ace of Swords, Ace of Cups, Judgment card, they could still be actually in the process of this. So somebody you're interested in, or you're still going through something, and somebody's interested in you, and you're not catching the signs, because your mind is completely somewhere else. Occasionally I do get these two out here together, which tells me that there's been some sort of pretty heavy changes. And when we have the aces coming out like this, it was something pretty recent. Fives kept coming out. There's some changes that are being experienced here. Threes are about, if you were to come together with this person right now, it would be probably a therapy session. You would be hearing all about what they've just gone through, everything that they've just experienced. I think that you would end up being, a sounding board for this person, or they could end up being a sounding board for you if you're still fresh off of some pain, if there's still something that you quite haven't processed all the way. It would be you needing to really search deep whether or not you're ready for any new connections right now, if you have the space to be able to accept that in. I keep getting these high level divine feminine energies about receiving offers from pages and knights, which means that it might not quite be ready yet. Okay, might not quite be ready yet. What's that past energy for Aries? Let's move my mouse and a whole screen popped up on my screen. It's very distracting. Okay. What's that past energy? So we'll take a look at the past. I'm not going to hang out there. I don't do that. Ooh, yep. The Fool and the 7 of Wands just kind of fell out. And here's the 10 of Wands with the 7 of Pentacles. So a lot of energy in the past, more fives, 5 of Wands. A lot of energy in the past of you probably either you get involved with a lot of people who experience boundaries. Maybe this might be a frequency or a vibration that you're in, that you're aligning with people who may need assistance, guidance, counsel, transitionary assistance through some sort of an experience. You may be in that vibration where you're attracting that. 7 of Wands, 10 of Wands, 5 of Wands. Earlier we had the 9 of Wands out here. We've got the Death card, King of Swords. I mean, I feel like in the past, either this is the vibration that you're resonating in for some of you. For others of you, you go all in too fast. You pretty much are vibrating with a lot of people that give you reasons to want to have to protect yourself, to need to protect yourself. There's a certain vibrational misalignment that needs to be looked at and worked on for some sort of reason. Because all these wands in your past, with the full card of, this non-committal, kind of careless, happy-go-lucky, let's see what happens, anything goes, throw your caution to the wind kind of investment into connection, feels chaotic. It feels a little reckless. We've got the Eight of Pentacles with the Page of Swords. Okay. When we experience something enough times, then we start to want to do that work. We want to do that work to want to try to change the outcome, to have different results, right? It's that old saying, the definition of insanity, right? All the things over and over, expecting different results, not succeeding with your outcome, desires. Please, thank you. Okay, perfect spot. Stay right there. He's got his bandana on to help him with his little injury on his neck. I don't know what that is. We'll get it figured out. Okay. What's the outcome? What's that future position? Outcome, future position. He's on my way. What's that outcome? What's that future position for Aries? Future position for Aries. Future position. Three of Cups. 333 out here. 333. You're ready. I think you're ready to start dating. Here's the Six of Swords, Two of Wands, Four of Swords, World card, three. All three threes are out here. Holy Four of a kind again, with all of these left in the deck. My good luck charm has come to rain positivity on this. I feel like ultimately, if you are interested in this one person, there is an opportunity for you to date this person, to offer friendship to this person, to be able to build a connection while they're still going through their healing period. There's no reason why you can't still be on the path of this person, while, dropping your expectations. I think dropping your expectations and kind of, if you're okay with whatever process happens here, I've got all three threes about here. I think at the very most, you could at least be able to offer some clarity or some guidance to this person, or this person may offer you guidance or clarity to a healing journey. Sometimes we align with people just because they have that kind of experience, or you both are in this kind of vibrational match to be able to kind of discuss and talk about things. I want to say that there's a lot of wands and a lot of swords out here. Wands and swords are about creative conversation. It's very creative conversation. It's almost like you both are kind of pulling that energy out of one another to want to talk about things, to want to be able to converse and get it out. And it's almost a healing connection whenever you're bonding with somebody in this way. I don't see any cups out here at all, except for the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups is friendship. It's about getting together. You possibly could be, going out with this person and offering, hey, let's go grab a drink, or let's go get dinner sometime. And it just turns into a very therapeutic conversation. This could be what happens, where it could eventually lead to something more later. We've got the Two of Swords, the Moon card, Knight of Swords, right? Where you're putting in energy after a period of self-care, to where you may possibly want to see if this develops into something more later. But I do feel like if anything's happening here, another two, if anything's happening here, this is about building something super slow through the energy of conversations, awakenings, which could ultimately, if not lead to, a divine pairing, it could lead to, both of you finding some sort of a way to a new beginning, and if it's not with each other, then at least it would be a new beginning, right? Away from past energy, to be able to transition into new experiences away from the past. Okay. Here come all the cups, but they're like down the road and they're super slow to build. This is like a little bit of a flirt being able to be offered here, but still not really diving all the way in because there's still an awakening happening. There's a lot of new beginnings that are being dealt with here, which has to do with somebody having realizations about what they've gone through, healing, preparing, looking for new beginnings, new ways away. There may be some sort of energy building between the both of you when we tend to hang out with people and we tend to build these close bonds. These types of connections happen. It's important to not trauma bond with somebody through the experience of, I'm not very well versed on trauma bonding, but I do know about experiencing a connection with somebody that is not really sometimes it may not even be aligned in that way, but those feelings develop, and that's something that could be dealt with. It's something that could be dealt with where you guys are learning something very strong. God, he's pushing on me. Please, you're on my hair. Dude. What? He just plummeted into my lap. Oh my God. I see strong healing, strong alignment here. I mean, it just feels so therapeutic. Bumper. It feels so therapeutic. It just feels very, very therapeutic. And, you're really confused on where it goes and for how long it goes on. This could be putting you in this mental conflict of having to deal with something here. So down the road, things get sticky with this certain situation. Unfortunately, I do feel like, you could be attaching with somebody who may not be ready, who may not be energetically aligned like that. But you may be in that energy of kind of matching with people who are looking for guidance, who could be, brought to you for some sort of a reason, or you're brought to them for some sort of a reason, and they tend to attract in people who tend to gain clarity, who tend to gain strength and courage through that connection, through lots of conversation through this. It's like being attracted to somebody being able to help you work through your confusion, to be able to help you work through what you need to figure out. What you need to figure out to be able to let go, to successfully move forward. Not bad. I mean, being open, here, Two of Cups, being open to the energy of partnership doesn't always mean a romantic partnership. It doesn't always mean a romantic relationship right off the bat, but it is something that could eventually build into that type of connection. It just depends on you. It depends on the person. It depends on the health of the relationship, on the growth, on the development. Depends on you, depends on them. Of course, you're probably not a licensed therapist. You're probably not a licensed anything. You're just, a person out there doing your thing. You're just out here, man. You're just in your vibration, and it just tends to be what you tend to attract in. 8 of Cups, 3 of Cups, right? People who want to bring you their sob stories and tell you every little detail. You can't help what you're creating, that energy that you're putting off, where people feel drawn to tell you every little detail of their life. You can't help it. I get that too. Some people do get that. And some people, I've done this also where I have encountered that energy. I have encountered that energy before. Next thing I know, I have divulged more information to this person than I've told to anybody. And I just don't even know where it came from. I have no idea where it came from. Evidently, I needed to get it out. This felt like a safe source. I don't know. I mean, it's, it happens, something could build from it. Something could not. It just depends on you. Depends on your situation, of course, naturally, right? I know, buddy. I know. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at the Beach Time Soul Love Oracle. We're going to look at the Beach Time Soul Love Oracle and see what you need to know. What do you need to know? What does Aries need to know about this connection? Son of a mother. Phoenix. Ran away. Healing heart. Yes, indeed. Hang on, sir. I gotta go diving. You gotta go diving. Oh, good job, buddy. He didn't care. Phoenix. Transitioning. Death card, right? Growth. We've got healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationships or addictions. This is transcendence. This is change happening here. We've got passion here. There's some sort of insane chemistry that draws people into you, that makes them just want to tell you everything. They could feel very healed around you. They could feel very drawn to your energy to be able to, give them, pieces of information to help them move forward. We've got passion, seduction coming out here. So this is, you're putting yourself out there for dating and connection and oneness. You could be attracting in people who need a little bit more work. What else? That's it. Date, getting out there. Putting yourself out there. And another death card energy out here. Endings bring new beginnings. Again, with growth, transition, change. Stabbed in the back to paradise. Butterfly. Okay. So here we've got clock, talking, photograph, keys on a ring, and hammer. So with the hammer is about working on things, rebuilding yourself, and taking time to do so. And I feel like through talking with this person, you're realizing that they could need a little bit more time. There could be, you wanting to flirt and date and coerce, somebody to want to go out with you, or they could be asking you to go out, but you're just not quite there yet. You're not quite there yet, but there's this insane chemistry that will not allow them to not interact with you or want to talk to you or anything like that. I mean, I do see here keys on the ring with the photograph. So there's this want to start to move forward. There's some sort of a decision. And the keys on a ring, right? This is kind of like somebody still keeping your energetic attention. This is somebody who still gets your attention. And if you're not the type of person that's getting this person's attention, then it's vice versa. And it's making them feel like they're ready to start working on things, this new connection, this new energy, this new feeling is getting somebody feeling like, what? I am tired of feeling like that. I am tired of hurting. I don't want to feel like that anymore. Maybe it is time for me to move on. Maybe it is time for me to let go and to start to push forward, right? So then you start to, through many conversations with this person, you guys start talking things through. It just starts to come out. You start feeling like, really comfortable with them, or they start feeling comfortable with you. Y'all start talking about the separations that have happened, the pain, the suffering, deception that you've both gone through. Maybe you resonate on some sort of familiarity because of this. And there senses to be some sort of a oneness. There's a bond through this connection that this tends to happen. Right, we've got mirror that also came out. This is reflecting each other's wounds, right? Being able to look at this, look at your experiences through somebody else's eyes, having gone through it as well. There's an instant bond there when somebody can resonate with you on that level. If you've both experienced similar situations or circumstances. We've got wedding rings, heartbroken, separation. Could have been dealing with somebody who had If it wasn't a marriage, it was a marriage-like connection, or somebody had talked about marriage. Somebody here had many promises of moving in that direction, and it still ended. It still ended up in heartbreak and separation. So there's a lot of unpacking happening here. When you're going into a connection with somebody, do note that, if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, sometimes even your 20s, and you've experienced some pretty devastating heartbreak. And there's a lot that you need to unpack when you go through this. The world will distract the crap out of you and keep you from truly focusing on your healing. Sometimes it even puts you in the incorrect mindset that the fastest way to get over somebody is to get under somebody else. That couldn't be more wrong. That poor person that you're connecting with, gosh bless their souls. Or if you happen to bring in more lessons because you are in a vibration that is still aligned, right? You're still aligned there somehow. So there's some sort of vibrational match that's attracting that in, that needs to be looked at. But this next connection coming in, it feels almost healing. You guys either are going to be able to work through this with one another, or you're going to decide that through your friendship and through your conversations that more work needs to be done, or y'all could land on talking about how to move to that healing stage. If they're not into therapy, counselors, or psychologists, because it's kind of taboo in some cultures, some families, some upbringings. There are life coaches, there are mentors, there's gurus, there's spiritual guides, there's podcasts, there's books on, audiobooks. There's all kinds of resources and available outlets to be able to offer guidance and clarity for somebody to move through the pain, to be able to really figure out what's going on and what those next steps need to be. And to be able to help somebody, to guide them on that journey. I mean, if you don't end up in a loving relationship, you would at least end up in a very friendly relationship, right? Where you guys could, end up being very, very good, close friends for a long time. Not every connection ends up in a romantic bond. This one tends to start a little therapeutic, I'm thinking. Interesting. Okay, so we're going to move into Aries in partnerships and relationships. So Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. If you're in a partnership, relationship, coupleship, situationship, whatever the heck you are in, if you're in multiple partnerships, I don't know what you crazy kids are doing these days. We're going to take a look at that right now. So if you're in some sort of a connection and you're experiencing issues or problems, we're going to take a look at that. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Cross watch or switch that energy around as needed. Thank you so much for your views, for your likes. Thank you for your comments. Hi, Dad. All right, here we go. Partnerships, relationships, situationships. Wow. Again, stop it. Not even. And a different deck. 3 of Pentacles, 4 of Swords, High Priestess. Let me put the intention in. So let's look. Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. What does Aries need to know? What does Aries need to know? Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Star card. Okay, what do they need to know if they're experiencing issues? What do they need to know? What does Aries need to know? What's that energy for Aries? Okay, so we've got the 2 of Pentacles with the Strength card, 5 of Swords, Hermit, and 9 of Wands is at the bottom of 9 and 7 of Wands, with the 6 of Cups right underneath that. So somebody here is trying to make a decision while keeping everything still flowing, using a lot of courage to be able to make this decision. Unfortunately, it is regarding somebody having to just kind of walk away from this endless fight, this constant argument to protect themselves. Either this is your person or this is you. This could be some past things that have come to the surface that you both have started to argue about currently. This could be, some sort of an argument about children for some of you. The two of wands come up there. What crosses or complements Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus? The Sun card. Seven of Wands, Five of Pentacles, Hermit again. 10 of Swords, 9 of Wands. Somebody here completely feels backstabbed, betrayed. Again, with the Sun card, this again could be children. There could be children involved. It could have to do with your children. For some of you, this is some sort of major realization, some sort of blinding truth that has been brought to the surface where you're feeling like you weren't even considered in this decision-making option here. Maybe you were completely blocked out of consideration when it came to making some sort of a decision. For others of you, you could be completely pushed out of something to do with your kids. Let's see. What is the best that can be achieved? What's the best that can be achieved? Four of Pentacles is sideways. We've got the 10 of Wands, Page of Cups, and the 5 of Wands. Tower card. Yikes. Woo. So now when the sun comes out, some of you have Annie in your head. The sun will come out. So when the sun comes out, there is no way you can hide anything that's going on. And I feel like somebody here may have been kind of pushing it and getting away with something for quite some time. While I don't have the 7 of Swords out here, which is about somebody being able to get away with something, the 2 of Pentacles shows, juggling and, trying to keep everything in balance while there is, all kinds of craziness going on behind them. And it seems like this kind of brave front. And now there is no hiding this. With the 4 of Pentacles coming out sideways, this is somebody who is showing to still be holding on to something. They could have been very stingy, very greedy. But when it is sideways, this is somebody who is, I almost feel like with this instant knowledge of being found out, they're just like, I don't need it. I don't want it. I'll let it go. I'll forget about it. Forget about it. I don't want it. I don't need it. But the clarity has already been put on the situation, and you can't, unsee what you've seen. You can't unknow what you know. And while there is possibly an apology coming in with this, look, I'm sorry, it kind of feels like they're only sorry because they got caught, or they're only offering this apology as a way to just kind of hose you over. For some of you, again, we have another adolescent card. So this could heavily have to do with your children. And now this is something about somebody being very, very greedy, very, very stingy. But them, almost wanting to justify it. They may have some good points. They may have some sort of a story that aligns, but you're still betrayed. You're still upset by this. You still feel like now you have to kind of be brought into this on the back burner. It's almost an embarrassment to you that you are not involved with this. Like if you have children with somebody and some sort of like maybe a bunch of decisions are being made without your knowledge behind your back, and then now you're just now understanding this, or maybe somebody's telling you about your kids' lives or something like that. Somebody's telling you about your business and you feel like completely out of the loop on things. For some of you, what's the foundation? Thank you. Knight of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles, Tower card, Five of Wands. Okay. Empress, 10 of Pentacles. So yeah, this has like been going on for quite some time. It feels like somebody is they're giving a lot of very practical reasons. There's a lot of really practical reasons here. There could have been like you're too busy or they're too busy, so you couldn't really find the time to go over every little mundane detail. There's just no time. Maybe you two are, passing ships in the night. There's this some of you may have different schedules than your person. So, going over every single detail of every single thing feels a little mundane. For others of you, it just feels like now you're having to kind of put your foot down and just say, you know what, I really want to be more involved. I don't want to be left out of the loop. I just want to feel, I want to feel included. We can come back. We can come back to base and figure this out, find a way to figure out how to include me more. Doesn't matter how much drama you think that I am enduring. We can figure it out. We can find a way. We can be creative and find a solution. It feels like your partner or you are trying to find a creative way to find solutions here. Five of Cups with the Six of Cups. Again, with that Ace of Swords. Somebody here just feels completely left out of the loop. They're completely left out of the loop. What's that past energy? Past energy. Another page. Seven of Pentacles with the Hermit card. So it feels to me like there's been a lot of pressure on somebody to kind of keep everything flowing and going no matter what anyway. I may feel like somebody here just seemed like they were keeping everything flowing and they were trying to do the best they could, and they felt alone. They felt like they were on their own. And no matter what comes up, no matter what is dealt with, as spontaneous as it seems, it was dealt with. It was dealt with on the fly, and the details that weren't delivered or given. So it just seems like there's a lot of stuff coming to light here where somebody feels completely excluded, like they're not even a part of things. At the Ten of Swords, the Four of Swords, the Two of Wands back here, somebody feels completely excluded from this whole family dynamic, from your partnership, from your relationship. It just feels like there's a whole world happening, and somebody's just kind of on the outskirts here. What's that future outcome? What's the future outcome? Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Thank you. Seven of Cups. Five of Swords, Ace of Wands. Okay, yikes. So we've got the Seven of Cups coming out here. Now, unfortunately, with the Seven of Wands, Five of Swords, Ace of Wands, I do see that initially there's just tends to be a very harsh conversation about this. There tends to be a very harsh conversation where everybody's just kind of, standing up for their own way of doing things. It tends to be from this energy of, kind of over talking one another, possibly. Maybe even, defending your position and your partner's defending their position, and nobody's really listening to each other. Everybody's just on the defense. Nobody is receiving what is being said, though. Okay, so there's a lot of things being said. So there's a piece of parts. There's a piece of the conversation here and there that is being picked up, but it's nothing that is creative into solving the issue, unfortunately. I show here with the Knight of Cups, the Four of Swords to the Star card. There tends to be an offer down the road. Like you guys are probably going to have it out possibly for a little while, but then there is eventually going to be an offer where you guys tend to lean towards wanting to figure this out. Another healing card back here. And through the energy of mercy and forgiveness, it seems like everybody can tend to get things back on track. To do that work, to figure out the confusion, to get that to change, to something more positive. It's down the road, though. Unfortunately, with your future outcome here, real quick, I just see some sort of an argument or some sort of a fight kind of kicking off because of this. And I just kind of feel like it has to do with everybody, being very defensive about what they need, what they have to say, what their reason was, and what their other person's reason is. And if everybody is telling the other person what their reason is and nobody's hearing the other person, then it's just an argument. It's just going round and round. And feelings tend to get hurt, right? When we escalate conversations and feelings tend to get hurt, it tends to, you start to push buttons. You start to push buttons to kind of, clap back a little bit. We have little swipes here and there to make ourselves heard, to make sure, that we're being taken seriously. And nobody knows how to push your buttons like your partner. Nobody in the world knows how to push your buttons like your partner. So you want to be very gentle with this. We've got the Three of Wands reversing that just flew out of here. You want to be very gentle with this. And I'm thinking that the approach here just kind of needs to be about you focusing on what the intended purpose is. When the Three of Wands reverses, it's kind of like having a lack of purpose. So there's not really any intention behind the arguments being said other than to get your point across. So pulling back in an energy of peace. Look at this. Overcoming these obstacles is going to take a very balanced conversation where you're both working together to have resolutions, where you're being able to figure out what is the best way forward for the partnership, the union, for what is the greatest, highest good for everybody involved. When the Six of Pentacles comes out and there's an argument on the table, I look at this Six of Pentacles as receptive conversation and active listening with your partner. This is about, taking a moment to sit down with your partner, saying, we're going to practice active listening. I'm going to hear you, what you have to say, and I'm going to understand it. And we're going to discuss that only. You can take notes during this. If something's said and you want to make a note of something and you want to come back to that later, fine. But there doesn't need to be touched on. The conversations, right? When somebody's telling you a sentence and you pick apart that sentence because they said something that struck a nerve, and you hyper fixate on that one thing because you want to talk about that. And now you have checked out of the rest of the conversation. You're no longer actively listening, right? So then there's a point where you have to shut that sidebar off. Okay. You can make a note. You can put down, make a couple of words, make a note of that real quick, and then come back to the conversation. Listen to the conversation. It doesn't need to be, this rebuttal of a complete and total refusal to hear our person. We have to listen to what is being said to comprehend them. We're listening to comprehend, not listening to reply. There is a difference. There's a difference between listening to truly understand our partner or listening to just have some sort of a reply or rebuttal, a one-up kind of energy. The best way to overcome all of this is to work together for resolution. I think active listening would go a very long way. A very long way. I've been in these situations before where, you're just kind of sniping at each other and trying to gain control. And then, when you want to argue with the person, it's when you've stopped listening and you want to just kind of make sure that you are heard no matter what. And then you just tend to get further and further and further away from conflict resolution. So It just seems to me like there's going to be a little bit more of a kick up, a little bit more of a dust up, but a way through that is to practice active listening and to really listen to your partner and to really truly understand the situation through a want to understand, not a want to reply. Okay. Yow. What is some oracle for this? Let's look here. We're going to pull the Magic 8. There she goes. The neighbor dogs are going off. Too many triggers. Yeah, he's very triggered. Very triggered. Everybody is easily triggered. Like this. Some dog barking in the background has my dog feeling like it's a big freaking deal. It's not a big deal. It's not that big a deal. So there's so many triggers, right? It just seems like there's everybody pushing each other's buttons. We've got storm warning coming out here. Winter's coming out, looking like things may calm down by winter. Spoke too soon. Don't count on it. Yikes. What else? What else for Aries? Cold and distant. Okay. So we have a lot of mirror games happening here. So you're giving it to them. They're giving it to you. It feels like this is just going on and on and on and on and on. It's not over. I wouldn't count on it being over. I feel like you were both at a standstill at this lock with one another. Kind of dug your heels in a little bit. Okie dokie. It does feel like you guys are kind of looking at this from only your perspective, or you may feel like your partner's only looking at it from their perspective. And this is developing a lot of trust issues with being able to be heard, to be able to be understood, that the conversation is not really going anywhere. It does seem like things have gotten really cold and distant between the both of you, because it just seems like it, the less you say, the better. So, what I'm seeing here is with these mirror games, if you were to just kind of put your foot down, let this person know what a drain this is on you, on your connection, what's been going on. Focus on the connection of the love. Focus on the passion that brought you both together. Maybe even embark on a reboot of your love, a rekindling of the love. Even if this person has a fear of change, even if they are scared to death and they don't even know how to do things differently, it's about implementing the change one little piece of the puzzle at a time. It's just about recognizing the thing that needs to change and then actively making differences, and then recognizing the change and noticing what needs to be changed, and then doing the work to do differently. These are not light switches. We don't just turn these things on and off. These are habits. These are implemented behaviors in each of you that you have picked up over time. Right. I see here in divine timing, we've got in a few weeks, there is some sort of probably a resolution between the both of you where you just kind of want to stop the fight. I have a feeling you both just want to stop the fight. Even if you have a fear of change, I think that we have a chaser situation is a potential, right? So pulling away from this, not wanting to be involved, not wanting to get too deep and too heavy into things. You guys may be making plans to want to have conflict resolution conversations or work towards seeking counsel to work through the issues or the problems, finding out ways to better communicate with one another. Okay. All right, collective. I hope that helps. I hope it resonates. I never know. I'm only channeling message while I am reading these cards. So I read what comes out. I hope that this offered you some sort of guidance or clarity. If you need a personal reading, the link is in my bio, and it is also in the description box attached to this video. You can catch me on any one of my platforms live for your chance to get a heavily discounted reading from me if you are interested. I am available for those. I'm available for questions if you have any also. Hit that like button, that follow button to be able to catch me on any one of my platforms. Those are also in the link tree at the very bottom. Follow me on all my platforms to catch me live. And until next time, I'm wishing you all love, light, abundance, and positive vibes that you can possibly stand. Take care. Bye.